What's up, guys? Welcome to my 2019 Stanley Cup playoffs preview. I know you guys are going to hate me right now because I'm wearing a Vanderbilt shirt. Anyway, but I'm repping for the Preds. I got my Preds hat on. And today joining me will be my resident hockey expert, Patrick.
Yo, what's up, guys?
So, the first question I'm going to ask you is, what first round series do you think is most intriguing?
There's going to be the Washington and the Carolina, in my opinion. Because Washington is the defending Stanley Cup champions from last year. And Carolina is going to be one of the wild card spots that are coming in. So,
Yeah, I mean, Carolina's a good young team.
and I want to see their
They've been a pretty good team all year. In my opinion, I think it's San Jose and Vegas, just because it was one of the best series in the playoffs last year. In my opinion, I loved that series, and I'm very interested to see how that series goes. In my opinion. Okay, now we're actually gonna fill out our brackets. So I'll let you go first. First game, first series, Calgary Flames and the Colorado Avalanche. Who moves on?
In my opinion, I think Calgary's going to move on from that one.
I agree with you. Obviously Calgary, top seed in the West overall.
Definitely. I think they got it into this year.
And Colorado was the last team in the playoffs is in the West, from what I recall. So I just think that's a mismatch, and I just think Calgary ends up beating them in probably 5 or 6 games.
I got 1-5.
Yeah, it'll probably be about 5. Okay, now for a series I'm very excited for, San Jose and Vegas. Who do you got?
I got Vegas moving on.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that series is almost kind of a toss-up, just because.
Yeah. It's really a good shot. They both got really good offense, you know?
Yeah. I hate to say this, but in my opinion, the playoffs are always about luck. Just gonna be honest, you take the Preds a couple years ago. They were the last team in the playoffs, and they went all the way to the Stanley Cup final. So, excuse me. So, the playoffs can be luck at times, but
yeah.
Okay, I am picking San Jose in that series. I think San Jose is gonna move on in probably 7. The only reason I went San Jose is because they'd have home ice in it if it went to 7. But
they do. That's for that. They do. Ooh.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with San Jose to take down Vegas there. So now we go to our Nashville Predators first round series against the Dallas Stars. Do I really need to ask who you're picking in this series?
I got Nashville.
I figured. For some reason, I thought you were gonna say Dallas. I don't know why, but
it's close. It's close.
I'm honestly kind of worried about this series. I feel like Dallas is a very good team. I think they've been kind of underrated this year.
They pretty much are our rival. If you think about it, though, with the Winter Classic coming up. And,
I didn't even think about that.
And a really close. We played them 5 times this season, and we beat them 3 times. They beat us 2 times, so it's a 3-2 right now.
I didn't even think about the Winter Classic against them. Dang, that makes that a really interesting series.
It's gonna be I think it's a rivalry we got going here, a Central Division rivalry.
Yeah, I'm taking Nashville as well. Obviously, you didn't really have to even ask there. Okay, here's another series I'm looking very much forward to. The Winnipeg Jets and the St. Louis Blues. 2 teams that I feel like could potentially go all the way to the Stanley Cup final. What is this? Oh. 2 teams that could potentially, I feel like, go all the way to the Stanley Cup final. But who do you have winning this series?
I got the whiteout coming back this year.
You think the whiteout's going to play a big role again this year?
Oh yeah, I think the Winnipeg Whiteouts come back. They're gonna take on the Blues. I say it's 6 games. That's my prediction.
I'm going to go with the St. Louis Blues beating the Jets in 6 games. Here's why. The Blues are one of probably the hottest team in the NHL right now. Would you agree with that statement?
They're doing pretty good. I mean, they beat us. I think they beat us more than we beat them.
I think they won the season series like 3-2, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Winnipeg did too. I still can't believe we even won the Central. It's still like a miracle to me that we even won the Central. But hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But I have the Blues beating the Jets and moving on to play the Predators in the second round. Let's go to the East first round, where first we will maybe the best team in NHL history, the Tampa Bay Lightning, going up against the Columbus Blue Jackets in the first round. Tampa Bay, I'm gonna assume.
Yeah, I put Tampa, no question. I say it's sweep. I got 4 games.
I don't know about a sweep. I think Columbus could maybe give them a run for their money, but I doubt it. I'll take Tampa Bay there.
All I know is I won't be seeing that cannon going off very much in the series.
No, I don't think so either. So hold on. Boston and Toronto is a very interesting series to me, I think, too. Another rematch of last year.
That's a rival, I think. It's pretty much a rival.
Hold on.
Think about it. Did they go to the Winter Classic this year together, right?
No, that
was somebody else.
That was like Chicago and someone this year.
Yeah, it was
the
Chicago
Winter Classic.
In Boston, right?
Yeah, I think it was Chicago and Boston this year.
But like Boston and Toronto, 2 teams that you always see getting a crazy game going with. So.
Yeah. So Boston, Toronto, who do you have in this series?
I got Boston moving on.
Well, I wasn't really sure who to pick in this series. This is another series that was kind of tough for me. But I ended up going with Toronto just because of the fact that Boston won it last year. This is literally what I did. I said, who won the series last year? Boston did. I'll pick Toronto this year to get revenge. That's literally how I picked that series. So I have the Maple Leafs beating the Bruins. Let's see here. Also first round action. We have the Capitals against the very dangerous, in my opinion, Carolina Hurricanes. I still went with the Capitals to win this series, but I think the Hurricanes are a very dangerous, potentially dangerous team.
I got the Hurricanes coming. I want to see the Storm Surge celebration.
So you have the Hurricanes upsetting the Capitals in the first round?
Oh yeah, I got the Hurricanes coming up. I want to see them win. I really do.
I thought they ended the Storm Surge celebration.
Oh no, I think they're still doing it, right?
I don't really know, to be honest, but I got Washington, he's got Carolina. This is interesting. Our brackets are completely different right now.
I know, they're like opposite.
I know. So, the Islanders and the Penguins.
I got Pittsburgh.
I went with Pittsburgh too. I mean, I love the fact that the Islanders have done this good this year, even without Tavares. But, at the end of the day, it's Sidney Crosby and the Penguins in the playoffs, and it's almost I know you don't watch football, but it's almost like Tom Brady and the Patriots every year in the playoffs. Like even this year, they weren't as good as they usually are this year, but it did not matter when it came to playoff time. They showed up, they got the job done, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl again. But that's what I would compare the Penguins to. Okay, so
I would much rather see the Rangers instead of the Islanders. I like the Rangers.
Yeah, I kind of would too, but so going back over the first round, I have Calgary. Me and Patrick both have Calgary in the first round. I have San Jose. He has Vegas. I have Nashville. Well, we both have Nashville. I have St. Louis. He has Winnipeg. We both have Tampa. Let's see here. I have Toronto. He has Boston. I have Washington. He has Carolina. And we both have Pittsburgh. So let's move on to the second round. So for you, the second round matchup would be Calgary and Vegas. Who do you have coming out there?
I got Calgary coming up. Taking Vegas down.
So let's see. My second round matchup is Calgary and San Jose. I have Calgary moving on there. I think that'll actually be a terrific series in my opinion. But I think Calgary just squeaks them out, maybe even in 7 games. But I have Calgary moving on there.
Calgary and Vegas is going to be interesting if that happens.
Oh yeah, for sure. if Calgary moves on, whoever they play, it's going to be an interesting series.
It's going to be scary for the team that moved on. That's they're opposing. I felt that. It's going to be a bit of a stressful couple of 2 weeks for the team that person's going for against Calgary.
Okay, so for you, this second round series in the Central is Nashville and Winnipeg. Who do you got?
I got Winnipeg.
Oh, I really hope we don't have to play them again. I don't want to play the Jets or the Blues, cause okay, here's my honest opinion. Well, here, go ahead and give your reasoning on why you think the Jets will beat us.
I think the Jets they from last year, they just had more they had a lot of momentum going into the playoffs, and I think if they can retain that momentum this year, they're going to be really dangerous. Really dangerous.
Yeah, I think so too. But here's my honest opinion on us. I think we can for sure, and I almost think you can take this to the bank. We will lose in the second round, no matter who we play.
Yeah.
That's going to be my prediction. We play Winnipeg or St. Louis, we're losing in the second round. And I have the St. Louis Blues beating the Nashville Predators in the second round, unfortunately. But I have us losing to the Blues in the second round, and I'll say 6 games.
I think if we play...
Actually, no, I'll say 7.
I go to 7 games. Because, we went to 7 games to the Jets last year. And that game was just they just got us too early, They caught us off guard.
Yeah, I really like St. Louis this year. I know it's the Blues and they have a history of failing in the playoffs, but I don't know what it would
be the battle of the two music cities. So
it would. I don't know what it is about them this year. I just really like something about St. Louis this year, man. But
I hope to see the Winnipeg Whiteout move on. I want to see the Preds, but I think I would like to see Winnipeg win the Blues.
Okay, so in the what division is this?
We're in Eastern now.
No, what division?
Oh,
I guess this is the
West.
Tampa Bay and Boston's the Atlantic, right?
Oh, I know. Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it's the
Boston
Atlantic.
is Metropolitan, right?
No, Metropolitan's Pittsburgh and Carolina.
Oh.
I think. I don't remember. Who cares?
It's weird, it's weird how they do the divisions.
I know. So, Tampa Bay and Boston. I have Tampa. I'm sorry. You have Tampa Bay and Boston in the second round. Who do you have moving on?
I got Boston moving on. Just out of luck, I'm thinking maybe Tampa Bay might lose their momentum somehow, and Boston will take over from there.
Wow. So you have the Lightning losing in the second round?
A roll of my dice, but I want to see something interesting happen.
Yeah. So Carolina and I'm sorry, I gotta give mine. So in my second round, it's Tampa Bay and Toronto. I have Tampa Bay moving on once again. Obviously, they're one of the best teams ever, points wise. So. I don't really think there's much explaining you need to do otherwise there. So, okay, so for me, or for you, I'll go ahead and do mine actually. So for me, it's Washington and Pittsburgh in the second round. So, wait, sorry, go ahead.
My fan just killed itself.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So for me, my second round is Washington and Pittsburgh. And I have Pittsburgh moving on because I kind of just flipped a coin on this, honestly. I didn't really know what to do here. Just because, Washington, obviously, they have that Pittsburgh monkey off their back. But at the end of the day, it's always going to be Pittsburgh, and it's always Sidney Crosby, and they are deadly in the playoffs. So I have Pittsburgh moving on against Washington to set up a Tampa Bay-Pittsburgh East final. Okay, Carolina and Pittsburgh for you. What is your prediction?
Carolina and Pittsburgh. I got Carolina moving on. I want to see something. Yeah.
Patrick riding the Hurricanes all the way to the East Final. So you think they're going to have a run in this thing kind of like we did a couple years ago?
That's what I want to see. I want to see that.
I wouldn't mind to see that either, honestly.
I want to see the Storm Surge celebration.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind to see that either, to be honest. As long as, hey, if something like that happens, as long as it's on the East and not on the West, I don't care.
Yeah.
So, okay, so just to recap, my West final is Calgary, or, yeah, my West final is Calgary and St. Louis, and Patrick's West final is Calgary and Winnipeg. My East final is Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh, and his East final is Boston and Carolina. So, in your Western Conference final, who moves on to the Stanley Cup final? The Calgary Flames and the Winnipeg Jets.
I got Calgary moving on to the final.
Why?
I don't know.
You have to give insight.
One of the best teams in the West, you know.
He's a horrible analyst, folks. No, I'm kidding. Let's see. So Calgary and St.
I guess. I mean, we have like 3 good teams over here. So.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, this whole playoffs, the NHL playoffs are always, the Stanley Cup playoffs are always just a toss-up. To be honest.
Yeah, it's great.
Because that's what makes it so exciting, though. I mean, even Charles Barkley said a couple years ago, the NBA playoffs have not been very good, and that's almost always the case. You always know who's going to win. The Stanley Cup playoffs, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's like always like reversed every year. You
Exactly.
Know, it's every team cycle through. Others like an NBA, it's always the same team. You know.
Not only that, but it's always the top seeds winning.
Yeah.
And it's almost, but anyway, so let's see, Calgary. Oh yeah, you already said that. So my West final, St. Louis and Calgary. The St. Louis Blues are going to the Stanley Cup final.
Ooh, that would be awesome. I'd like to see that.
Don't say that the Blues going to the final is awesome as a Predators fan. Please never do that again. Okay. Sorry, I had to straighten him out. So, okay. As much as I hate to say this because I hate the Blues, they are one of the hottest teams in the NHL right now once again. I know, that it's the Blues and they have a history of choking the playoffs. I get it. But I just feel like I have some feeling deep inside of me about the Blues this year. That they're going to have some magical run and get all the way to the Stanley Cup final. So I have the St. Louis Blues as your Western Conference champion. And he has the Calgary Flames as your Western Conference champion. Now, your Eastern Conference final. The Boston Bruins and the Carolina Hurricanes. Who's going to the Stanley Cup final?
You don't want to know.
Are you picking Carolina?
I got Carolina.
Wow. So, what do you like about Carolina so much?
The storm surge. That's it. The celebration. I want to see their celebration when they win the conference.
He's such a great analyst. He gives such great hockey analysis.
I know, right?
Anyway, I'm just kidding. So, let's see, what's the next game? Oh yeah, or next series. My bad. Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh is the Eastern Conference Final for me. I have the Tampa Bay Lightning moving on to the Stanley Cup Final. Not much I have to explain once again. They're one of the best teams I've ever watched in my life, hockey-wise.
They're crazy.
It's unbelievable how good they are, in my opinion.
But will they get the President's Trophy curse and will Boston?
That's one thing I'm worried about, though. That President's Trophy curse, we learned firsthand last year. I didn't believe in it until last year. Last year, I did not believe in it. I definitely believe in it now. I'm a little worried about that with Tampa this year, but So, my Stanley Cup final is the St. Louis Blues and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Yours, the Calgary Flames and the Carolina Hurricanes. So, Patrick, who wins the Stanley Cup in 2019? The Calgary Flames or the Carolina Hurricanes?
I got the Calgary Flames. Bringing it home to Calgary.
Wow. So you think Johnny Hockey's going to get his first cup?
Sure. If Carolina doesn't get that momentum, yeah. They should get that momentum and win. I hope Carolina wins the cup if the Preds lose. lose second round, but you know.
Yeah, that's probably who I'm cheering for if the Preds don't end up winning it too. Is probably Carolina. I'd like to see that. As long as the Pens don't win, who cares? As long as one of these two teams don't win, it's okay.
The team I don't want to win it the most is probably Pittsburgh. I hate Pittsburgh.
The team I don't want it to win it the most is okay. There's 3 teams I don't want it to win it: the Penguins, the Blues, and the Jets. Just as a fan, but
our way, they're right in our way.
So, St. Louis and Tampa Bay in the Stanley Cup Final for me. I think St. Louis's magical run ends here, and the Tampa Bay Lightning get past the President's Trophy curse, and they win the Stanley Cup in 2019 and solidify themselves as one of the best teams in NHL history. So, to review, according to Patrick, your 2019 Stanley Cup champions will be the Calgary Flames, and according to me, your 2019 Stanley Cup champions will be the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You have any last remarks you want to make?
I think it's going to be a really interesting playoff run for all the teams. We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow night, starting at 8:30 Central Standard Time.
Yes, sir. Let's go, baby. Hey, here's what I'm going to say right now to close the video. Go Preds, beat Dallas. We'll just say hashtag beat Dallas, hashtag Preds in 4. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys.
Go Preds.
Go Preds.